Hello Gemini, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Gemini, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Gemini, let's get started. How does Gemini currently view this relationship? Okay, so we do have the Emperor, we do have the Five of Swords, and then we also have the Three of Pentacles, okay? In regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, I feel like you're trying your hardest to get someone to see things from your perspective, but whoever this person is that you're trying your hardest to kind of see things from your perspective is definitely not trying to see things from your perspective whatsoever. And I think that that tends to create a lot of tension and conflict between you and them, because they don't try to like see things from your perspective or like understand, you and where you're coming from. I feel like this person also too has a tendency of defending and justifying their behavior a lot. So when this person does something that you don't like, you try to talk to this person, try to get this person to see like, hey, like, this is why I don't like when you do this. And this is why I don't like when you do that, because it makes me feel like this and it makes me feel like that, instead of them being like, okay, like, I understand, I'm sorry, my fault. Like, they'll be like, no, like, you're just overreacting and you're just, insecure and you're just this and you're just that, causing, a really big fight / argument to more than likely occur between you and this person. Because of that, instead of them trying to understand, they're more concerned with having a response. Because this is not somebody who's listening to understand. This is somebody who's listening to basically respond. You see what I mean? Okay. How does... Okay. Okay. In regards to how this person is currently viewing this relationship with you. So I'm getting a few things. This person views you as somebody who just loves to like fight and argue with them. They also view you as somebody who's constantly looking, for a reason to break up with them. I'm also getting that as well. Coming from this person. So this is starting to kind of look like a huge misunderstanding already, because I don't see you trying to break up with this person or looking for a reason to break up with this person. I just see you trying to get this person to see like, hey, that thing that you just did, yeah, that really does bother me. That really does like, annoy me. Can you please stop? Instead of them just being like, oh, okay, like, I understand, like, won't happen again. Like, they tend to like justify and defend their behavior. But yeah, they do view you as somebody who just likes to start stuff with them. They do view you as somebody who just loves looking for reasons to essentially break up with them, is basically what I'm gathering so far. How does Gemini currently feel? How does Gemini currently feel? Okay. Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords, King of Pentacles. I feel like you tend to experience different versions of them, Gemini. Like, there's times where they could be super sweet and super nice and super understanding and compassionate and loving and affectionate. Everything that you could ever ask for, right? But then there's times, dude, where this person just comes off like a real, douche is kind of what I'm gathering. And I feel like you absolutely like hate this version of them that's like very defensive, very argumentative, very rude, things of that nature. I just kind of feel like the person that you originally fell in love with isn't the person that you currently have by your side right now. And like I said, I am definitely getting, for some of you, you tend to like experience like different versions of them. Like, one minute they could be super nice, super sweet, and the next minute they could be like really like rude and disrespectful and harsh and argumentative and things of that nature. But for some of you, this person just isn't the person that you fell in love with anymore. Maybe this person has drastically changed over time. That's definitely a possibility. Or you just tend to go through this with them, where you tend to experience like different versions of them. Either which way though, I just kind of feel like you just don't like the fact that this person doesn't try to see things from your perspective. You don't like the fact that this person doesn't try to understand you. You don't like the fact that this person tends to like defend their behavior a lot, or justify their behavior a lot. You just don't like it. You just don't like it. And it's causing you to essentially feel like this person's just going to continue to do things that you don't like. They're just going to continue to do things that cause you to feel, disrespected, because all they do is sit there and defend their behavior either which way, which is kind of leading you to think and believe, you know what? They're just going to keep doing this. They're not going to stop. They're just going to keep doing this. They're just going to keep doing that. Because it would have been one thing if this person were to respond and react to this entire situation differently. It wouldn't lead you to think and believe like, oh, they're just going to keep doing this. They're just going to keep doing that. It would cause you to feel like, okay, like, like they understand where I'm coming from, and they're not going to continue to do this, and they're not going to continue to do that. But when this person turns around and justifies their behavior, and defends their behavior, it causes you to feel like, you know what, like they're just going to keep doing this because they just don't see the wrong in what they're doing. And that's the thing, is that you just don't want to stick around for all of that. How does this person currently feel? How does this person currently feel? We have the Sun, we have the Hermit, and then this person also feels, this person also feels like you just can't stand to see them happy. You just can't stand when things are good and are peaceful between the two of you, according to them. Yeah, this does, yeah, I can see what you're talking about as far as them not seeing things from your perspective is concerned, because when I look at you and your energy, I don't see somebody who's trying to start a fight or an argument. I see somebody who's trying to be understood by their significant other. That's what I see. But them, on the other hand, it's like, no, but Gemini's just trying to start an argument with me. They just can't stand to see me happy. They just can't stand to see me at peace. They just can't stand it. That's what's really going on here. But I don't see that. That's the thing. Like when I look at you, I don't see that. But according to them, they feel like you just can't stand to see them happy and or at peace, or you just can't stand when things are good between the two of you. So you have to like stir something up or start something with them. What actions? Okay. Will Gemini take towards this person or moving forward? So we do have the 9 of Cups. We do have the Strength card. And then we also have the 5 of Wands. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the 5 of Pentacles, so 2 of Wands. And then we also have the King of Swords. Then we also have the 8 of Pentacles, so Queen of Pentacles. And then we also have, okay, Gemini, in regards to how you plan on moving forward, I do kind of see you getting to this point of getting sick and tired of them and all that comes with them. So much to the point where I do see you walking away from this entire situation. Now, here's where it kind of gets a little interesting here, because with the 5 of Pentacles, so 2 of Wands, to the King of Swords, this is kind of like the energy of, all right, Gemini, if you want to walk out of my life, that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, be my guest, right? I don't see this person putting up a fight. I don't see this person trying to stop you. I see this person allowing you to walk right out of their life, right? And that's exactly what I see you doing. Then you start falling into this energy of like feeling like, how do I explain that energy? It's like you're falling into the energy of like, wow, they're really not going to try to fix or repair things with me. Wow, they're really not going to apologize to me. Wow, they're really not going to change. They're really not going to stop doing this. They're really not going to stop doing that. Wow, I guess they don't love me. I guess they don't care about me. It's evident to me that there's a lot of things that you want and expect from this person that they just continue to essentially show you they're incapable of giving you, is basically what I'm gathering. You are somebody who clearly knows exactly what you want and exactly what it is that you're looking for within a partner. And I think that they continue to show you that they just can't measure up to like your expectations and or standards. And that's okay. Not everybody's gonna measure up to your expectations and or standards. But I feel like that's what's happening. It's like they just continue to show you that, you know, they're either not the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, like you wanted them to be. Another thing too, because this to me kind of feels like there's like a lot of head games being played on their behalf too. That's like another thing too. Like there's like a lot of head games being played on this person's behalf. I really want to look at this person a little bit more. Hold on. What actions? 9 of Pentacles, King of Cups, and then we also have... Yeah, there's a lot of head games being played on their behalf, because when we look at this energy over here, it's the energy of, oh, you want to walk out of my life, Gemini? All right, bye. See you later. Not really. I'm not running after you. I hope you know that. You know what I mean? And here, there's a reason for it all, because deep down inside, do they think that you're 100% done with them? No, they don't think so. They definitely don't think so. And that's why they react the way that they react. Because if this person felt on an intuitive level, or on an energetic level that you're done with them, they wouldn't be responding and reacting this way, you know, towards you. At the end of the day, you're dealing with somebody who knows you very well. You're not dealing with somebody who doesn't know you. You're dealing with somebody who knows you very well. So they know when you're done with them and when you're not done with them. They know when they still have a fighting chance here and when they don't, because they know you well enough to know, right? Those things. So even though you're telling this person, that's it, I'm done with you, I never want to see your face ever again, they can feel that that's not the case. They can see that that's not the case. And this is why they're choosing to not worry, you know, and or freak out. Because they know that, you know, it's only a matter of time, you know, before the two of you do patch things up and get back together. Now, here's one thing that I will say, okay? When it comes down to these little head games that this one over here likes to play with you, I feel like this person likes to like portray this image to you, like they can honestly care less about you and this dynamic that they share with you. Now, this is what I need you to pay close attention to, because when you do get up and walk away from this person, yeah, you're going to find yourself falling into this energy of, wow, like they're really down with me. They're not going to try to fix or repair things with me or apologize to me. Oh, okay. Like, I still see you sticking to your guns no matter what and deciding to walk away, right? When this person doesn't see you running after them, that's when they're going to start to fall into this energy of, oh no, Gemini might be done with me for good. Let me go over there and apologize. Let me go over there and do this. And that's kind of what I was getting. It's like you tend to experience different versions of them. It's like you tend to experience a version of them that care less, and then you tend to experience this version of them that cares a whole lot. This is them just playing a lot of head games with you, basically. You know, this person wants to walk around like they don't really care about you and their relationship with you, but they care a whole lot. Believe it or not, they care way more than you think. This is somebody who doesn't want to be without you. They don't want to be without you. The thing that doesn't really make logical, well, I guess in a way that does kind of make sense, because, you know, what was confusing me at first is I could tell that they don't want to lose you and or be without you, but it looks like they tend to put themselves in predicaments to essentially lose you and push you away. So then in my head, I'm just like, well, why would anybody in their right mind do that, right? Like, why would somebody put themselves in that predicament to essentially lose you? It makes no sense, right? If they don't want to lose you, they're going to avoid putting themselves in that predicament to possibly lose you one day, right? Right. But it kind of looks like the reason why this person is comfortable putting themselves in certain predicaments with you is because they don't really think that they're actually gonna lose you. So you might be telling this person, hey, you see that thing that you're doing over there? Yeah, I don't like that. You know, when you do that, that makes me feel disrespected, by you. You know, it makes me feel like this. It makes me feel like that. And they just continue to essentially, you know, do it anyways because they don't see you going anywhere. You see what I mean? They don't really see you going anywhere. There's that type of person that likes to like push people to the edge is basically what I'm gathering, just to see what that person's going to do. Is that person really going to leave? Are they really going to leave though? Let me just push them to the edge and see what happens. You know what I mean? Let me see if they jump, you know, or not. Like they like to push people to the edge. They like to push people to their limits. They like to walk over people's boundaries just to see like how that person's going to react. Is that person going to really leave me, or are they going to stay? You know what I mean? I just feel like this person plays too freaking much. Jesus Christ. You would think that we're in a freaking playground in this relationship. I feel like this person like plays too much, dude. I do. I feel like this person plays too much. Like there's a lack of like respect here. There's just a lack of respect here. This person doesn't respect your feelings and or boundaries. And this whole like, I keep getting that. It's like they like to push people to the edge. They like to like push people's buttons just to see what's gonna end up happening. It's like it's ridiculous. Too much. What advice can you give me for Gemini? I almost called you a Sagittarius. You could have Sag within your chart. Let's see. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Cups. We also have the Seven of Swords. And then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. I am definitely getting that this person's head games that they've been playing with you will eventually backfire in their face, because everything that this person's doing, as far as like not respecting your wishes and or boundaries and not really giving you what you want and showing up in the ways you need them to essentially show up, you know, I am definitely getting that all this will eventually, may not happen, you know, a month from now. It may not happen 2 months from now. It might happen a year from now, whenever it's supposed to happen. But I am definitely getting that their head games will eventually backfire in their face. It's one of those things where it's like, if they won't step up to the plate and be who you need them to essentially be, somebody else will. Somebody else will. It is what it is. Somebody else will. And I feel like that's going to be the day that, you know, they're going to realize their head games blew up in their face. Because I am definitely getting somebody else will essentially come along and give you what it is that you want. So while you continue, I guess, to like remain with this person or not, whichever have you, somebody else is going to come along and not play these little games here. Okay? Because this one over here, it's like they just, I don't know, just like they just play too much. They just play too much. And this whole like pushing people to the edge and pushing people's buttons and walking over people's boundaries just to see like how that person's going to react, or that's super childish. You know what I mean? You would think that y'all are in a playground in this. Really, this is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But there's going to be somebody who's going to come along that are not going to play these little games with you. They're just not going to play these little games with you. In other words, the very thing that they fear will essentially happen to them one day, as far as losing you is concerned, is going to happen. It's going to happen, because I don't see this person actually changing their ways. I think that this person just lives to like push people's buttons and like test the hell out of people. And it's like, you're going to get very sick and tired of it. You already are, you know? So, and that's the thing, is that by them not respecting how you feel, Gemini, or your boundaries, it's just gonna cause them to essentially lose you in the end, which is their biggest fear. But they can't really blame anybody else, you know, but themselves, because nobody's forcing this person to play these games with you. They're just doing it willingly because, I don't know, I guess they like to do it. Why do they like to do it? I don't even know. I think that they do it to see how far they can get with people. But even then, it's like, all right, cool. But it's going to cause them to essentially lose you in the end, which is the very thing that they don't want. You know, so I get it. They have been, I guess, doing this for as long as they've been doing this with you, Gemini, but it just kind of looks like this whole, like, they're not going to leave me, is going to, like, you know, like, eventually go out the window, because, like, this really does, like, I mean, I feel like this person just plays a lot of head games. So the likelihood of you having any sort of peace of mind within your relationship with this person is probably not the case, because they play a lot of head games. Like, they just play a lot of games, you know? They do, but there's going to be somebody who's going to come along who's not going to play these games with you. So they might be getting like the laugh now, but you're going to end up getting the last laugh. They might be winning this battle now, but you're going to end up winning the battle when it is all said and done. They may be getting their way in this entire situation with you for now, but there's going to come a point in time where they're not going to essentially get their way anymore. You see what I mean? So it's like all of these games that they're essentially playing with you now is going to eventually come to an end. They're not going to be able to play these games with you forever. You know what I mean? So that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.